some people here. It's a miserable old day, and I've just finished watching True Geordie. By gum. So I've just posted True Geordie to my Facebook, and powerful. So, to all of you, I hope you have better weather than is here, because it's raining, it's windy. Where's the summer gone? Where has the summer gone? I'm bending on the A minor, which is the A minor's there. I keep bending on it. You know, the thing is, right, when I was watching True Geordie this morning, I think there was maybe 1,000 people who are talking about the subject. Wow, man. And like I said to I'm sure his true name's Brian. I says to him, how deep do you want to go down the rabbit hole? Because it's a huge rabbit hole. And my last comment on his podcast was in relation to The Matrix. Now, The Matrix was a damn bloody good film. Really. Proper good film. But like Lawrence Fishburne says to Neo, 2 tablets. You want the red one? Or do you want the blue one? And that's what I was saying to True Geordie on his podcast. But yeah. So. Oh. Ow, ow, ow. Very good morning. Yes, I awoke this morning with a migraine. The migraine proper kicked my butt. However, the wonders of pharmaceutical medicine. If anybody out there suffers from migraines, I'm going to show you something, and it is that. That there. Absolutely perfect. So there's 46 people here. Very, very good morning to you all. John O'Hare, I voted for, well, John, if you, I assume that you are American. Now, I wanted to go over to the United States of America once I got my, hold on a second, once I got my passport. And passport will happen. I think I have to have an interview to get a passport. Do you have kids or grandkids? There's your answer. Yeah, there's your answer. That's why I have a plan. I have a very good morning, Bert. Good morning. Have I ever been on holiday? I've had holidays like I've had a week with family here in Nottingham. When most people turn around and say that, what was it? Oh, I'm going to Turkey, the Med. Some people have said to us, even when I was on the buses, they turned around and they said to us about, oh, I'm going to America, I'm going to Florida, or, places like that. No, never, ever been to anywhere like that. And I once said to somebody, this was 2022. I was talking to somebody and they were excited because they were going to Greece and they'd worked hard all year. And I said to them, and they just like looked at me with it, that like, do you remember the View from years and years ago with Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, where he's doing that, yeah. And I turned around and I says, "What do you do on holiday?" Because no idea. Um, well, was it? Hello, old man. Thank you. Yeah, 58. Yeah. So I'd said to them, like, what do you do on holiday? Because some people I've heard over the years go on holiday and they never leave the pool area. Some people, um, they just go to the pool and get suntan. Yeah. Now I would be out and about if I ever went on holiday. I'd be out and about exploring and showcasing everything that's around us. Just me. Callum is saying, read any more about GDP document. Um, well, I've got a PDF to go through, which is pretty big. And I also have people who know looking at both. So, yeah. And I've been trying to find this morning. Benji, hi Paul. How much did the experts cost for? Well, these experts cost that nothing. Are there any countries you would travel to? Yes, Hawaii, Egypt, Australia. Australia is the big one because it means the bottom of the world, and apparently you've got to go through Dubai to get there. Um, People need to realize making websites is hard. They don't they? Yeah. Do you know the thing is, it is so technically mind bending. It really is. Um, and then you slide in to your what you're planning to do. The fact that you want to have autonomous agents and looking at that, oh my god, that's a minefield. I mean, a proper minefield. I was looking at earlier this year something called N8N, and I was sure I'd watched a few different videos on it, and it was like a block, instructions, and then something coming down, something going that way, and connecting it. And I've watched these people doing these videos, and you know what? I watched it and I was watching it and I was like, how? How did you do that? Because what looks easy is the exact opposite. And yeah, Bert's quite correct. I mean, the laws and all of the rest of it, the compliance, those compliances, Bert, are even stronger because you got the Financial Conduct Authority who are bolted to the Prudential. There's that one. Then there is, I might get this wrong, Koniasek, where you can't do what you want yourself. You have to go through an intermediary. And I was like, oh my Lord. Never mind, there's another one as well, and that is legal team. When I went into the city centre to speak to as many, I mean, I went through part of the city centre, not the whole of Nottingham. And I went from one firm of solicitors to another firm, to another firm, to another firm. And I was like, I don't understand this. I've gone through maybe 8 different law firms, and they're just saying, try that one, or try that one. And I'm like, huh? It's just really universal credit. I'm in your head. I'm in your head. Well, not really. Nobody is in my head. The only thing that's in my head is what I've got to do. So universal credit, yeah, you can dream all you like at the end of the day. Somebody is saying Israel or Palestine. Well, I'm English, and what I found out blew my mind. And I'll talk about that in a live at some point. I just asked for advice. Well, that's the reason why I've hinted at those in London, because like I said, they are power people. And yeah, so oh, we got the trouser press person. Gonna sneeze. Shut up. Wah. Right. Where was it? Solicitors could tell he didn't have 28 pence in his pocket, so sent him on his way. Well, actually, you're wrong. You see, go back through my video collection. Go right the way back through my video collection to videos on W, that's the letter W, X network. And the reason why I was speaking to all of these solicitor firms at that time was this. On WX, it is an exchange, but it's an exchange with a difference. If you want to day trade, pardon me, if you want to day trade, you can do that. But you can also do something that's different, and that is you can create something. So yeah. A data controller. A data controller. Well, the thing is that when I was using bolt.new, yeah, there were the London experts will tell you to hire a data controller. Okay. Might look into that. You don't need to employ lawyers to create crypto. No, you don't. But you do for compliance. And I was watching something yesterday, and somebody in government needs to make their mind up as to what they want. And if they don't, make their mind up, well, Vanguard. Yeah, I've heard of Vanguard, John O'Hare. Yeah, I have. So I'm starting to think you enjoy the sound of your own voice. Okay. There you go. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There are no experts in Rushcliffe or Nottingham. Well, there is. They're just mega hard to find. And I use other people in positions. I'll tell you what, but I'm going to. Where are you? Voila. There you go. Now, so I heard. What was that? What was that one? Hold on. I heard in the new Fantastic Four, he's playing the Thing. Now, you seen the size of the Thing? In the Fantastic Four of that character. It's bloody massive. There's no way. Not a hope in hell. Please reply. How are these experts working for free? Ah, no. Those of you who have been here for a while, you dip your finger, you taste it. If you taste it and you like it, you buy it. So, yeah. Well, so-called Geordie, yeah. There is things that I've asked AI. Yeah, there is. Raw dog. Where is it? As we are coming next month to football season once more, yeah, the plan is to do collabs with lots of different fellow Newcastle United YouTube channels. That's my goal, to do that. And the reason why is, like I said, to open boxes, put a little link in chat so that anybody who comes in, click the link, and I have to connect my Steam on the laptop so that you can go into something called a green room. Protestant, John, Protestant. Here's the crazy part. Yeah, there is a crazy part too. Most of the family are the other side. You didn't expect that one, did you? Homestyle, Jesus can save you. Well, he saved us all, didn't he? Let's be honest. He did. He saved us all. Now, clear that frog in my throat. Now, as we move forward, yeah, we have two things which are going to pop out the 28th or the 29th, and they will be live forever. I'm going to make sure that they are live forever. And then the third one's video. And I've since looked at, there was two, Magic Light and another. Now, I found out last night, I was on TikTok last night, and what was it again? What was it said? The VO3 is now available in the UK. However, it's $150 a month. Now, because it's because it's $150 a month, we use pound sterling here. So I've got no idea what that price would be of using VO3. But the other ones I've looked at, there's one called Hey Jen, which will create video for you. VO3 is a hairstyling. Is it? Are you sure? Because the one I use the one I use is this. This one's almost empty, but that one's full. So yeah. Benji. Oh my God, he's left again. Wow. No, it's not. It's Nature Spell UK. Everything I'm getting a few products, or I should be getting a few products. Either the weekend or next week. Universal Credit, do me a favor, delete your comment now. Delete it. Because years and years ago, there was a person, and that person is a bad person. So delete your comment. I don't ever want to hear anything to do with that. Benji, how are they working for free? Well, I don't tell YouTube everything. No. There'll be no point, because when I was asking for help in March and April, somebody turned around and said, "Oh, Sunderland Nation." Now, last night I was looking at something, and I'm not going to tell you what I did, but the Universal Credit, thank you for deleting it. Don't ever mention that person. Ever. Nobody ever mention that person, because what he did was horrific. And if you bring it up as a laugh, as a joke, you're actually spitting straight in the face of the victims, and that's wrong. So don't do it. Yes, same with so-called Geordie. Delete you. Just don't even bring people like that in, because what they did, yeah, they hurt a lot of people. So just don't even speak about it. Yeah, so-called Geordie, yeah. I mean, you could go through a list. Just don't go there, because at the end of the day, what you got to remember is, right, those on the other side, they have to live with it. And when you have to live with something, it's like, you've gone to court and they turn around and say, right, Bush, you're doing a life sentence. Yeah, so just don't do it. What are your thoughts on Trump? Well, Trump's a very, very old man. Yeah. And, I mean, I wanted history to be made. I did. I wanted history to be made. But the American people didn't. They wanted, you know, something else. And they got something else. Now, Robbie Wells. Nah, Robbie Wells, he got in touch with me through two different people in the United States of America who I speak to, and and Vivian saying, "Get the guitar out." That was at the beginning. Um, what I'm looking for, Vivian, is this: I need a new microphone so I can sing. Hmm. If things go my way, the plan is to Robbie Robbie Wells. He's an American. I don't know if he's from the north, the south, the east coast, or the west coast. I've no idea. I just know he put his name in the hat to become elected. And did it work? No, because he dropped out. And when people drop out, have they got enough votes? No, John, no. Um, Ruth, I was on the campaign trail with Ruth, and she's a good person, very good person. Yeah, I think he did, John. I think he did. He bottled it, and some people do. The pressure. Um, what? What will you do if no one uses your sites? Well, one thing I can do, I still have something in the background. Pressure makes diamonds. And oh, thank you very much, John. Yeah, pressure. That's why I wanted to go to Hawaii, and because volcanoes not just do diamonds, they do gold as well. Sell to Meta for money. No. What I'm creating will never ever be sold. So, no. Where's the furthest afield? How much do you think seeking you will be worth in, I don't know. I would like to say that with the new version in between now and 2030, with the new version, what, as many people as in the UK? Does anybody know how many people are currently in the United Kingdom? I can't even pronounce that name. John, I can't even pronounce it. I can Mama Now I'm sorry, I can't I'm trying to pronounce it, but I can't. And Dover Town. Eh? Dover Town. Okay. Yeah, it's just I'm dyslexic, John. Sometimes, like, an example for you. Um, Words like, where is it? This. Words like that. I can't pronounce it. And, you know, the reason why I think is when I was younger. Do you remember? Does anybody remember the game Pass the Parcel? Yeah, where the music used to play, and you'd go round and round and round and round, and then when the music stopped, you'd throw your backside onto a seat. Well, when I was growing up, from bod size to teen size, I was like there, 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 there. I was all over the place because in care. Have you been in Baz's shed recently? Oh, somebody else. That's musical chairs. Yes, yes, yes. Well, that's what my education was like. It wasn't just in one place. I was like bounced around like Passy the Parcel. Easiest way of putting it. No. Um Now, keep it clean, because I don't want to get told off by YouTube. So keep it clean. Yeah. Now, we're coming really, really close to the .org and the .co.uk, which I'm happy about, you know? And because I'm happy about it, the last night I was looking at something, and that something I'm actually going to do as well. Big Tony, you're new here. We cover Newcastle United Football Club, which is based in the northeast of England. We cover music, singing, We cover cryptocurrency, and we cover the future and what the future is going to bring. Any views on Carly Johnson's new content? No, I haven't seen anything like that. But this new thing, which I was looking at last night, it will link everything together in one place. What's the future going to bring? Lots of good things. The new Claude, do you know, I haven't touched Claude for what, 7, 8 days because it hallucinated. And I was like, it did a bolt. Back to the Future. Kind of. You see, there's things I'm going to do. And one of those things, definitely going to do, is some of the wage from both of these apps is going to pay for the hire of a studio where I can go in there, do my songs, put the songs onto LP, CD, and other things, and then put them onto the site. I've been thinking about a trip to Newcastle soon. Yeah, well, I'm hoping to go up to Newcastle at the start of the season. I'm hoping to, and yeah, hoping to go and see likes of Steve Wraith at the Dog and Parrots, and Malcolm McDonald. He was my hero years ago. Will I sign your tune top if you so wish? Yeah. Universal credit. Listen, if these apps rake in money, I'm going to use a little bit of that money for the studio. You understand? So that's just a life goal. Of years and years ago, when I was first learning to play guitar, when you're playing an instrument, sometimes words pop in here. Yeah. Here's an example for you. Yeah. Here's an example for you. Now, right there. I was born a Geordie lad, and now I'm silver. Raised South Benwell, Armstrong Road, Atkinson Road. Yeah, that, right? That is a song. Streets of Home. Now, when I first started to pick the guitar up, never, ever did I expect I'd write. Never did I expect I would sing. But you've seen it. I work full time. I buy my football tickets the month before. Okay. So you're perfect. Yeah. What's he saying now? Just hire a studio now. It's £300 a day. Okay. Well, it's not just about hiring the studio. That would be easy. It's also session musicians, drummer, bass guitarist, somebody to do keyboards, and then sing. How is the development on Streets of Home going? Well, it's stalled, and it's like it's in quicksand. But there is more powerful songs than Streets of Home, much more powerful, and some of the tracks are in the genre of Black Sabbath. Some of the songs are in the genre of Iron Maiden. I would love to do St James's Park. I would love to do that. Yeah. Code Cowboy. Have you seen Geordie Nation too? Well, here's the thing, right? I'm going to say this in a polite way. Very polite. You go to the pictures to see a film. You either enjoy the film or you don't. Now, if you enjoy the film, right, they have to make the second version better than the first. Now, you're on about Geordie Nation 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, whatever. Yeah? But people will always remember the original. And that's as much as I'm going to say. 300 is a good 75. Yeah. Well, I won't, when I'm going into a studio to record, I won't be on Universal Credit. No. And that's the reason why I've done what I've done. Have you written drum and key parts? No. What I've done is what I play on guitar, I'll do the same thing when I'm in a studio. And the drummer, the bass player, if they're as good as what they proclaim to be, as I'm playing, they'll play. And then I'll go up to the microphone and just blast it out. Then the engineer who sits at the mixing desk, well, I'm assuming he's going to go sliders and faders and all that malarkey. Will you create any MP3? Possible. It is possible. Would you say you're more like Lennon or McCartney? Well, Paul McCartney can't read sheet music. He just can't. So between the two of them, I would say McCartney. Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. Well, with the games, that would be a demo first, and then Bosch, full game. The TV channel, John, was expensive. It was a misnomer. Do you listen to Jeremy, that doesn't make sense. You realise you're attempting to do 4 projects. No, I'm doing 2 projects side by side. The other ones just sitting there. I know where they are. So, no. I mean, you're actually wrong because there's not 4 projects. There's more. So-called Geordie Jam forward stroke a cappella. Oh, right. You could set up a Cameo account and make money doing custom videos, custom birthday messages. Yeah. Were you approached to play at the town hall? No. Is it? But what is it? You don't even. Eh? That is the stupidest comment. Geordie Nation. You know, Benji. Do you know, I honestly, right? I think you're a troll. I really do. Because I lived all my life in Newcastle. All my life. Apart from going here, there, and everywhere. But yeah. But I think you're a troll. So, to the mods, do your stuff. No, it wasn't. Dan is saying Spider-Man 2 was better than the first. That's your opinion. Was I ever a member of the Benwell Bad Boy crew? Was Twitch the first streaming platform? I was on Mixer. No, I haven't Universal Credit. No. To be honest, I mean, you know, people, like I said in a previous live, some of my ideas can take over a year. And Geordie Nation seeking you longer. But it's how you build it and what's inside, what's the guts, the core. Pardon me. So yeah. Would you ever marry a vegan? What? You know what it is. You know what it is. What a stupid, absolutely mental comment. And nobody picked it up. I'm disappointed. I am very, very disappointed. Hey, my lord. Well, he's on a coffee break or a tea break. Huh? Not one of you's got rid of that message. You know what? Hold on. Guess what? You can get as well. I'm just not having any of that, man. Some people, here's the thing, and it's my first here's the thing of the day. I have to follow rules. They're blooming strict as well. So, to the mods, if you're coming in, yeah, don't be asleep. Watch for comments about things like that. And please, chuck it out the door. Slam the door and say bye-bye. Because just pathetic, stupid. About the comments that were just in chat relating to things that shouldn't be in chat. So, come on. Well, you want to be in a position. You've been granted position. So is Colville. Now, come on. Snap into it. So, wishing you all a fantastic day. Hopefully, the weather gets a bit better. You're on morphine. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. Easy as that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, people who turn around and say, yeah, as Benji was just saying there, I've lived in many different estates. Many. I've lived in Gateshead. I've lived in many different estates on the North Bank. Now, West End is the best. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she was. Yeah. God rest her soul. So, I am going to speak to you all at thereabouts 7. Code Cowboy. Paul, if you were a real Geordie, why did you move away? A new start. That's simple. New start. That's it. Paul is 68 and he's been living in Nottingham for 5 years. Well, I can say this much. Your maths is wrong. So, see you all 7 p.m. and have a wonderful day wherever you may be.